Man, here we go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? You already know what it is. This is Y and Z, The Divide. We're here, different generations, having conversations about life, talking about everything that you could think of. We've talked about it so far. And we still got more to go. So, we are here. He's Jay Clark. Say what's up to the people, Jay Clark.
What's good? How y'all doing today?
Yes, sir. And my name is Xavier Lewis, and let's hop into today's episode now. Jay, I know your team is the Cowboys, and you're sad about your team sitting at home. But do you agree with the statement that they're trying to make Patrick Mahomes the next Tom Brady?
Interesting question. It's a yes and no. It's a yes and no. So I will agree
Okay.
with you on some aspects and disagree on certain aspects. Off jump, it's a no because whatever people say, the man's doing it on the field. Like the man is doing it on the field. So regardless of what you say, what you believe, what you think, the man's performing on the field. He's setting himself up to have one of the greatest careers of all time in the lane of a Tom Brady, in the lane of a Michael Jordan, whatever it may be. So off jump, no. On the back end, though, being the media professional I am and understanding how they do is, yeah, you kind of need this foil sometimes, or you want that big epic story. Um, but I also think it's part of it because you want to see that people want to see him torn down. So is it they're trying to make him the next Tom Brady? I bet you there are some out there who would hate to see him be compared to that level because great white hype and things of that nature. Um, and they'd hate to see this half Negro man get to that kind of stature. But yeah, it's hard in this circumstance because he's doing it on the field. Like I think it's just an identification of where he is right now and what he's done and where he could go. But like making him, why do you think so? Do you think they're trying to?
Yeah, I do. It's just they need a new, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. Lamar Jackson is not yet, he doesn't have much seniority yet for them to make him that underdog out of the hood star player that the NBA needs for this generation. Thought they was gonna get it out of John Morant, but
Wait. So you're saying the NFL is looking for its? Yeah, yeah.
it's looking for his come up story. It doesn't have that right now.
Well, it's not a come up story. So let's go back in the day. There's always been in your major sports leagues your like class A top tier stars.
Right.
In the 80s it was for NBA it was Bird and Magic and then, or even Isaiah Thomas and then Jordan came along. Football you had Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. In the 90s you had Aikman, you had Elway, you had Marino, you had Young, Jordan in NBA. Even in baseball, you had Griffey back then, you had Barry Bonds, you had Mark McGwire. Like you love to be able to identify that this is the top tier talent for the game, the people that everybody knows. And we've seen it kind of continue on. You're always looking for that next, I'm going to use the I don't want to use the phrase goat here, but you're looking for that person like, yep, they are it for this era, this generation. And it was easier back then because everybody was watching the same thing. Like
Right.
everybody was like you had your national games, you had so it was able to identify, okay, we can all kind of agree that person A in said sport is this thing here. But what we've seen in the last 10 years now is it's harder to identify one because talent has increased like a mug. Like even though you may not like the format of the games or how the games are presented nowadays, like just because of advancement in tech and knowledge and routines and practices and health and all, like the athletes on the court nowadays are better than ever before. And on top of that, now people are able to see much more. Like you can literally watch any of the 30 NFL teams that you want on a given week with the right package. You're no longer limited to, okay, I live in Phoenix, so or I live around Phoenix, so I'm only going to get the Cardinals game and maybe whatever AFC team they show. Like growing up, like that was it. Like one of the best parts of being on the East Coast and even being a Cowboys fan was because they played in the NFC East. So even though I wasn't in that area, they were always playing an NFC East team, so I got to watch them enough. But I remember we lived in Ohio for a time. We only got to see the game. when they were the national game, but thankfully enough, it's the Cowboys, so they were always on. We got to see it. But nowadays, it's we're not being forced into those boxes, so it's kind of you're having to find a reason to identify this is the athlete that's the best because now it's oh I my the guy on my team who I can watch every week is just as good as this guy. But Pat Mahomes is different. He's just a different animal. Like he's one of them ones right now, and we're seeing it happen. Like he's
But
making it.
I think the NFL just made his choice, you know. I think they're invested behind him now. Even the slightly strategic moves of the NFL media department
Mm-hmm.
with Taylor Swift. So you have your A guy, you have Pat Mahomes. You think Chiefs, you think Pat Mahomes. And now here comes Travis Kelce. Who was this guy?
That's y'all's fault because y'all, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, y'all aren't into sports like that. Like I'm sure some of y'all listen to the start of the podcast like, oh God, they talking sports really? But I mean, that's y'all aren't into sports. So right now, on top of the fact that we're not all watching the same things, y'all just don't care to the extent that other generations have. So they got like they are searching for the reason to get y'all to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll sit down and watch this live while it's happening. And it's paid off for them in the realms of Taylor Swift with these Swifties in that demographic. As much as we may hate it content wise, like in their eyes, it's been a success as hell because revenue, like Travis Kelce jersey sales are up and Swift, I was watching the news last night and they closed the news out with the Super Bowl matchup is set. Will Taylor Swift be able to make the game from her concert the night before in Japan? I'm like, what the with these Swifties? So that's all marketing right there, and like it's working, unfortunately.
It's
Um,
working real bad.
and you're going to see a lot more of that probably because it's going to be like, how can we get y'all y'all younger generation interested in these live sports because the dynamic with these regional sports networks crashing and failing and sports rights being like they are trying to figure this out, especially because a lot of these contracts are coming up and they're trying to get things settled. They got to make themselves as attractive as possible for that cash, that moolah. But that's y'all's fault. So I mean,
Hey, at the end of the day, I got Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
I want the Chiefs to win. I don't want the 49ers to win. F the 49ers. No, yeah.
Oh, I was sure about to say it. I'm glad you said F because I was just gonna say the word.
Yeah. I mean, I got no gripes with Mahomes. Like I honestly like yeah, I wanted Ravens Lions. Like
Now,
that was just going to
I
be the
don't.
blackest Super
I
Bowl ever.
also, I also don't have any gripes with Brock Purdy. I'm
Whoa,
cool with him.
whoa,
I don't. He's a great player.
he's cool. I mean, he's proven he can play. But my issue is they like he's becoming a thing. One because of where he was drafted, and two because of a certain complexion. And they love to find those once again those great white hopes in these dark seas. They gotta find them and latch on. Um, but no, I can't rock with the 49ers. No, as a Cowboys fan, no, there's too many things at stake. We won't get into here with records and Super Bowl wins and all that. There's too many things at stake. And plus, like it's nice to have the one. Like it's like that's part of the magic of some like I know y'all gets like your younger generation gets sick of like Jordan, 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 Jordan. But it's like Jordan what like is one of the best like and is very well the one of the best basketball players of all time. But what makes him so much larger than anybody else is his impact on the culture and what he means outside the court. And to be honest, that's not happening in a market like today. Like that only happened because once again, it was the late 80s and the 90s. So therefore, Jordan was the game you were going to see him a lot on national games or whenever he came to your market. And it became something special. And then you add on the shoes and the specialtiness of the shoes. And then you throw in a movie like Space Jam and his story and what he did that nobody like there's so many other things that go into it, but it's nice to have that one thing to kind of lock in. That's why we kind of like sports dynasties. You either love them or hate them. Like there's hardly anybody who really like, oh, I really don't care. It's either you love it or you hate it. And for sports, you kind of got to love it because you want that story. You want that thing to kind of everybody can kind of grasp on. We feel like we are taking in this thing all at the same time. which is a throwback to that monoculture, which very few things invoke that feeling nowadays. Like the Super Bowl, even if you're not a football fan, you're watching the Super Bowl either A, because you are a fan, or B, in this case, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you're going to see if she how many times she's there, or you're going to watch the game because you want to see Usher at the halftime show, or even though they've been sucking lately for the last couple of years, the commercials, which are they're not as standout as they used to be, but even then, that's still a thing of this game, which is a one-off thing that once it happens, you're never gonna be able to see it again. Like, yeah, unfortunately nowadays we can see they'll have the halftime performance on YouTube the day after. You can go to check out the commercials now on YouTube even before now,
So,
release them earlier,
so,
but it's a special thing.
so I'm gonna let you get to your topic, but I got one last thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Prince, number one Super Bowl halftime show of all time.
That's a good one. Like that is a good one. Like yeah, like that
Pouring down, raining, and you sing Purple Rain.
like it's iconic. Yeah,
I
like
would have passed out.
that was I remember that one. So yeah, off jump, it's in no particular order. Prince, Michael,
Of course,
Coldplay, which was really Bruno Mars and Beyonce.
right.
I'll low key throw in Bruno's first time by himself.
Yeah,
And then
that man is a great performer.
and then that really stands out for me only because of what it represented. Not last year's with Rihanna, but the one before that, which was kind of like the tribute to West Coast, but they had a
You
lot
come out
more
with Snoop and
Snoop and Dre,
oh,
like that was
and
fire, but
what I
it
but
wasn't
what
like
I
yeah,
love that one. Honestly, that would be in my top five. No,
yeah,
because I'm gonna tell you why though, because it was more about a culture, a place, a birthplace.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was it was a it was a birthplace halftime show for West Coast hip hop and rap.
yeah, yeah.
It was like a smoothly woven story. I'm serious. I was sitting there watching it. I'm experiencing my dad blush because he's like, "Oh my God, this was when I was out there living, and when he was out there living in Oakland,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? Like, and it was just amazing to see that because other halftime shows are about the performer.
I mean, as it should be, as it
Right,
should.
right, right, right. But it was nice to see a narrative change where it's about a people and not just a person.
You're gonna need that going forward because, like, I'm looking forward to Usher. This like Usher hopefully will be one of those like iconic halftime show performances. But after Usher,
You gonna have to start grouping them.
like you can like I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if you end up with Taylor Swift for next year, and rightfully deserved. Like that's an iconic pop country. Like give her the stage. Sure, I may not be interested in that one myself, but like it fits the bill of what you need for the Super Bowl. But after that,
They're gonna have to start doing eras like
it might
this
be time to
halftime
change.
show
I don't
era
know what
is
you're
the
gonna do.
1990s.
I don't know what you're
Hip
gonna do. Yeah.
hop.
It's
This
going.
era is 1990s R. I'm gonna tell you who I need to see do a concert just one time.
Ooh,
And I know he used to do he used to do stand-up comedy, but he didn't do like a whole, he would only have a portion of his stand-up be music. And
you
that's
talking
Jamie
Jamie?
Foxx. Let me tell you something. I need to see Jamie Foxx live show.
I'm with you. I've seen him live in some smaller things sometimes, being in the radio biz, but never like a full-on fledged concert or performance or something like that. But yeah, yeah, I don't, he's not gonna touch the Super Bowl, but yeah,
Ah.
that'd be maybe T-Pain, maybe, but I don't know.
Ooh,
T-Pain
they
could
need, bruh,
T-Pain
like
could be fired for the
I
Super
think
Bowl.
everybody needs T-Pain right now. The bruh did what was it, the Soul Train Awards? That was in the backyard.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
After what he did at the Soul Train Awards last year, everybody should be on high alert. It's like T-Pain has come out as a new artist. They need to be on high alert.
It's not.
All,
It's not that he
all
came as
he's
a new artist.
doing,
It's not that
all
he came
he's
as a new
doing
artist.
right now is doing covers of his songs and he's just singing without the auto tune.
And so yeah, so see, they didn't come as a new artist. Folks were questioning. Folks never like it was the gimmick back then, and I don't you can't blame him for doing what he did,
Because he
but folks
came
were
up
always
like that.
questioning the talent, and so
If
now
he
we're really
was,
getting to see the talent, and it's like, oh, this dude is a little deeper than what we thought or the story that was told. That's a great reinvention, like T-Pain's reinvention, like
if he would have came out regularly singing back then, he would have been flooded by so many other people who were
oh yeah,
just as good as him during
yeah,
the time.
yeah.
But now, when good singing is sparse,
Well, no, it's not that good singing is sparse. It's that it's good singing with stuff that you are comfortable with already. And that's the beauty of covers and some stuff like that, which we'll get into another day. But that's what it is. It's almost like you're already familiar with it, but it's being presented to you in a new way. So therefore, you're already kind of more receptive and open to it versus something that's just straight up brand new. But yeah, yeah, good discussion, sir. Yeah, oh yeah, because I love the music. I love the music. It's Y and Z. I'm the Y, the millennial. That's the Z. Xavier Lewis. That Gen Z, and Gen Z is special. And we're gonna get into right just now how special they are because I saw the story in the post. Everybody's been talking about self checkouts is in the news a lot lately. People hate it. People love it. It's theft. Yet whatever. Apparently, your generation loves the self checkout. Not because y'all are antisocial and don't want to talk to nobody. It's because apparently there was a study that more than half of your generation loves self checkout, and out of that half, 1 in 3 love it because it allows y'all to shoplift. Y'all some thieves. How many times have you stolen at the self checkout, Xavier?
never. But let me say this. Let me say this. There, what some would say is a thief, some would say is a martyr for change.
Martyr for
What
change.
some would say a thief is, others would say, oh no, that's just Robin Hood. We, from orders from our grandmother, Maxine Waters, we are reclaiming our time. These corporations, these government systems, these selfish individuals who have done nothing to gain wealth and greed for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous,
You're taking it.
and God will
Okay.
provide a way for us to reclaim those items with the right technology. There is a built-in budget within every Walmart system that will adequate for thefts in self-checkout. And I don't want them sitting there with a budget that hasn't been used. I'm doing the company a favor. The more money that they lose 1 year, that's the more money they'll get the next year.
Wait. What?
If they lose all of their budget, then
They're
big
gonna budget more for
Walmart,
the next year. So which is gotcha.
right, not slow.
I can't hate on your thinking here. Like I said, I don't like. I read the story. I'll post the link to the New York Post article in the show below. Um, I can't disagree. I can't disagree. Like the reasons that y'all gave in the article for like, yeah, it's y'all feel vindicated. The economy sucks right now. Inflation is high, and they gouging us. Am I the one to do it? Not necessarily, no. Like, I'm not, there has been a time or child
Well,
thing may have
you
not been
millennials
made.
aren't doing it anymore, but look at Rodney King. Y'all tore up the whole city.
That wasn't us.
Y'all part.
That was straight up. That was straight up. That's not even X. That was the boomers, right? Yeah, boomers. That's because you got who was adult like that was we were barely in, I was barely even watching that on the news when that happened. Um, but it is interesting how y'all as a whole, and we can all agree the system is a bunch of trash right now. But y'all as a whole have less, word is not gumption, but less, y'all feel more entitled. I don't even want to use the word entitled, but y'all feel more entitled to do little things or small things, even in your personal life, to buck against how trash the system is. And we're seeing that in something like self-checkout, like that's which as a whole, like I was in a Dollar Tree the other day and saw a self-checkout. I said, wait, what? And unfortunately, they had one register open that was normal, but they were cash only. So you were being forced to use the self checkout because who really carries cash like that anymore? And that line in a Dollar Tree was all the way to the back of the damn store because it was that, yeah, some things might go missing in that situation. But like, I'm just, yeah, yeah. There are certain time like there are certain times I like self checkout. Like if I'm just, I got like,
Yeah,
two, three, five items, and I'm just trying to move quick. Because the worst thing, I hate seeing a line of self checkout and seeing somebody's grand. I don't mind seeing somebody's grandma struggle. I understand, but when I see somebody who look like they should know better and they struggling at the self checkout, I'll be like, take your ass to one of these reds, like please, please, because you slowing me down and wasting my time.
it's ridiculous. And then I'm gonna tell you, I went to Taco Bell the other day, right? And this is where it just became super convenient. I went to Taco Bell the other day, and they were like, "Our card machine down, so we doing cash only." I don't want to hear that while I'm kind of having cravings. Like Taco Bell is delicious when you have those cravings. And so you know what I did? I sat in the parking lot. I ordered online and
Yeah,
just
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
drive through.
Now I don't mind
So
that for
convenient.
like fast food. I yeah, because like I remember when it was a couple years ago, the whole thing with the McDonald's self-serve kiosk coming up. I don't mind that for some of those because I hate being the one who's holding up the. I hate people who hold up the line because your order is so complex, or you trying to like make 50 million changes to like no, order your number one, be good. Like I want my number one, but I want a light with no pickles, only half mustard on the left side. Like whatever
Toasted buns.
so I'm not mad at like self-serve when it comes to fast food because one sometimes yeah sometimes like I have my normal orders when I had those cravings but sometimes like okay let me see what you got or let me see what deals you got or if it's like I got the little one with me or the wifey and like okay take a second figure out what you want. I don't mind it there. I don't mind it even at like Costco. Yeah, I'm good with the self checkout at Costco because they're pretty efficient with it. But yeah, some of these other stores, I'm like, y'all asking for a hurting. Y'all asking for a hurting. And it's apparently been coming because apparently they've been being removed at some places, which what I do like though, what the perfect situation is, so there's a grocery store called HEB here in Texas. One of the greatest
Mhm.
grocery stores alive, like one of the best grocery stores there ever is. Um, and so they have your traditional checkout lanes with the person there. They have your traditional self-checkout lanes with a person there. That usually hovers. But then they also have these dedicated self-checkout lanes that are as long as the normal ones with a person at the end on a computer helping you out and they'll still bag your stuff for you. So it's like that best mix of having a cashier and self-checkout because I sometimes I hate doing self-checkout if I got coupons or anything like no, I need you to make sure I'm getting my money off and correct and them things don't always like to scan correctly and so this is a nice mix because it's like okay cool I can scan these things get it through and you at the end making sure my money is right or like yep I got this discount and you right there it's not like I need to find this person who's trying to monitor these 16 self-checkouts and maybe with the grandma who don't know what she's doing. It's nice to have this person dedicated and they bag like that they bag your stuff. It's the great mix in my eyes of the self-checkout system.
I agree. I agree.
So
That's that.
I ain't mad at y'all at this one. Like I was kind of like y'all special but fight the power. Go ahead. YZ here, Jay Clark, Xavier Lewis. Time for some recommendations. What you gonna put me on this week, youngin? Let me know. What you got?
So I want to put you on this alternative R&B artist.
Oh God.
Okay, let me say this first. I love how the Erica Badu's made something like alternative R&B a thing. She's truly a pioneer in her right. for opening up a different sound of R&B per se.
Stop.
Her name is Umi, Umi, and she has a song called Breathe, and it sounds really good.
I just pulled her up. Let's see. She ain't got much, but I'll give her a listen. What makes her stand out? Because I'm be real, being the millennial that I have and coming from this pre-digital age, my standards are high. Like, for example, people love Money Long's Made for Me. It's not a bad song. It's a very solid song. I low key can't stand it because to me it's incomplete.
It's missing a part.
Oh, very much so. So is she at least bringing complete music here? Because like I said, I need my R&B to take me somewhere.
Right.
I need that verse, that chorus, that verse, that chorus, a bridge, some more choruses, and I need to feel you all throughout. Take me somewhere. Is Umi doing so? Because if not, don't have me wasting my time
She's
and
gonna
going.
take it down, man. She's gonna take it down for real.
Okay, okay, I'll give her a shot. I'll report back. I will. I have her up right now. I'll give her a listen. What is the song?
Breathe.
Breathe. Is that the newest one?
It was on her newest project, yeah.
Oh, no, she's one of these. Every song is in lowercase. Okay. Okay, I'll check her out. UMI, right?
That's it.
Okay. We'll report back. Um, if you like Yumi, let me know. Holler at us. Tell me what song I should hit up. But yeah, we'll see. I will judge you based off my experience here. I will. Because like I
You're
said,
so crazy.
my music got it. Especially if I'm gonna take some time to listen to something new. It gotta take me there. But okay, I'll give you a shot. We'll see what happens. My recommendation for you this week. Uh, honestly, Echo. I have watched. I haven't watched the last episode yet, but I've watched all the first. Is it the first four? I think it's like or first five. It's either 5 or 6 episodes. Echo by Marvel on Disney Plus. Very well done. Great way of. 'Cause I know you into the superhero stuff.
Oh yeah.
Great way of the way they introduced the character in the first episode. Like it's a great job of doing an origin story, but not doing an origin story. Like keep like because that's half the problem right now is like we can't do an origin story for everybody. Like because then the train just never moves forward. They did a great job of letting you know who this character is, where she's from, why she's at where she's at
I
nowadays. And
love how you just described how Black Widow shouldn't have been a movie.
man, a lot of the stuff shouldn't have been some movies. Like that's besides that, I'll get back to that in a second. Echo,
Still trying to figure out the purpose of Thor too.
which one? The movie or yeah, Thor
Thor
2.
the Dark World.
Yeah, but that's early. You can give them a pass for that. Because Marvel's in an interesting place right now. Um, but this is one of the like surprisingly their their TV stuff has been the better stuff, which I low key think they should make a shift towards more TV and less theater right now. Because I think it better fits the format of trying to tell some of these stories and be able to develop these worlds, even at a
Because
level.
that story, don't get me wrong, but it was a great movie. The last Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. But that should have been like a season one of a TV series instead of a whole movie. Don't get me wrong. We all love Rocket, but did we really need to know about his origin story?
That Guardians was okay. I don't have any issue with the third Guardians. That one was actually okay. That's one of the time, but like the latest Thor was pretty trash. The Marvels was pretty trash, unfortunately. But yeah, Black Widow was trash. It's this latest phase, and that's because Marvel doesn't know how to reinvent itself right now in terms of present. Like you have to do something new. It's been sheesh, it's been 16 years now of this. 16 years. And so it's kind of like you have to start doing some new presentations and ways of doing things that keep us interested. And also because everybody trying to come, I'm surprised I haven't seen it too much with the whole woke stuff coming at Echo. Like I'm actually surprised I haven't seen too much because it's very much an indigenous story. And I'm surprised that hasn't lit a fire in a lot of people's butts. But that's like the basis of comic book stuff anyway. So that's been going over a lot of people's heads. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, this episodic, like the TV stuff, I think gives them better angles to better approach these things. So yeah, check out Echo. They've been doing a solid job with it. Hopefully the finale will deliver, but it's been good so far. Like I said, hopefully I'll watch it this week. Just been a little busy. But yeah, that's my recommendation for you this week, good sir.
Dope stuff, man. You know I gotta do it.
But yes, this Y and Z, that's what we do here. We just talk about life from the different perspectives of generations. Like, share, subscribe, hit us up. Let us know if there's something you'd like us to hear talk about because Gen Z is special. They ain't got much perspective. They don't know about the world and the what do you call it? The what was the old day or what was the before times? Is that what y'all call
Boy,
it?
you so crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's y'all. We here to educate. We here to educate, inform, and put perspective to things. But that's what we do. Like, share, subscribe, holler at us. J Clark 787, the real Xavier Lewis, the Lewis brand. Hit him up. And yeah, until next week, we'll be back. Have some more stuff. I got some stuff in my back pocket that like yeah, like so I just want you to know. As I had some stuff come up, I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to get in on this, especially as we get into February, because
Oh yeah.
yeah, February is going to provide some fun background for some stuff. But yeah, until then, peace.
Peace out, y'all.